Hello and welcome to this session on material purchasing. If you look at your procurement system, it's a very structured and organized approach which is used by organizations to acquire goods. There's a lot of spend involved in your procurement, and that's why you need a structured and an organized approach to ensure that you are buying these goods in a structured manner. Ensuring resources for organization operations and goals, sourcing your potential suppliers and vendors, effective resource allocation, reduce risk through vendor evaluations, reduce compliance and legal considerations, emphasis on sustainability and social responsibility. Now, all of these parts form your procurement system. Why do I need to evaluate my suppliers? Because I need to ensure that I'm getting it at the right price and the right quality. Why do I need to care about sustainability in the organization? Because that's what my customer wants. So a procurement system is an all-encompassing system that actually looks at various ways and means to ensure that what you buy for your organization is within the framework of your procurement system. And that's very important. But there are several steps that a company follows when it comes to their procurement system. There is a preparation of a specific budget. How much do I need to spend? What is my procurement budget? Organizations have a budget and they go by this budget for the purpose of their business planning. When there is a specification budget, it all starts with a need by a purchase requisition. What's a PR? A purchase requisition is something that details about what we want to procure. It gives a description of the goods. It gives sometimes it gives what quality is required. Sometimes it gives what standards you need to buy. As much as possible, the details in a purchasing requisition, it helps to buy the right good. So it starts with the purchasing requisition, which we call it as a PR. The PR then comes to the procurement department typically. So the procurement department checks and understands what the requirement of the user is and authorizes this requisition. So that's where it's important to understand what is it that the user wants and is it correctly understood. That's the document which is called the PR. So once it is checked and authorized, the procurement department will then obtain the right quotations. Now, quotations need not be just based on the lowest cost. Quotations could also look at time, cost, quality, delivery. There are several aspects when you look at quotation, not just necessarily the lowest cost in an organization. Select supplier purchasing panel. So sometimes in an organization, it could be only one person who's doing this decision. Sometimes it's a panel. A purchasing panel actually looks at which supplier should we use, especially if your spend is very high. Select suppliers. It could be an individual. It could be through a purchasing panel and then issue a purchase order. So that's where you actually start issuing the order to your supplier. Once you issue an order to your supplier, you receive the goods. You receive the goods into your system, the ERP system. Remember, we spoke about the ERP system. You receive those goods and then you check, is everything received as what was on our PO? If everything is received, we check the invoice and then make the authorization for the finance to pay. Pay the supplier invoice, enter the payment in your cash book. So this is a full cycle that we are following here, right from identifying a need. And there are various softwares which are available, whether it is S2P softwares, P2P software, source to pay or procure to pay softwares that help you manage this complex procurement systems within your organizations. There are ERPs, there are enhanced softwares which companies use to track their spend in their procurement system. When you look at your material purchasing, it refers to the acquiring the necessary materials that the company requires, the handling by purchasing and procurement. These are the departments. You are intertwiningly using purchasing and procurement. Procurement being the broader function, purchasing being the more transactional function in an organization. Efficient operations and controls are in place to procure this material, obtain the material at lower prices, at cost-effective prices, at optimal prices, and investment in inventories. This is the role of your purchasing department. And what are the objectives of your purchasing department? Cost-effective procurement. So as we said, it's not necessarily the lowest cost. Yeah, it could be a cost effective procurement, looking at cost, quality, delivery, and any other variables that an organization feels that it needs to take into consideration when buying goods. Faster production through streamlined processes to ensure that the goods reach at the right time at the right place. Improved profitability via inventory management. That's what is one of the objectives. Mitigating your supplier risk. Very, very important to mitigate your supplier risk. To have a single source. What happens if this source is not available tomorrow? Where do I buy from if this source is not available? Do I have an alternate supplier? What if I don't have an alternate supplier? How would my production run? What will I sell? So mitigating your supplier risk is extremely important in today's volatile or VUCA world. Do I select the right supplier? Do I select based on cost? Do I select based on quality? Do I select based on time and speed of delivery? Supplier selection for quality sometimes. It's also one of the objectives is interdepartmental collaboration. It's not a siloed organization. You can't just have a siloed purchasing organization that does not consider the needs and wants of the interdepartment. So it's an interdepartmental collaboration is another objective of procurement. Continuous optimization. Can I look at better quality? Can I look at better speed of material reaching me? Can I look at enhanced design features? All of these is continuous optimization and continuous improvement. Very, very important again is compliance with regulations. There are rules and rules to be followed in procurement. As we said, this is the most expensive thing that your organization has. The budget is 60 to 70%. Compliance with regulations is extremely important when it comes to procurement. That's one of the fundamentals of procurement is compliance with regulations. Quality goal setting, competitive advantage and external relations. So several objectives. What are the parameters for effective purchasing? The parameters of effective purchasing are the 10 R's and we will see this shortly. It's also known as the acquisition of raw materials. They are considered as basic principles of purchasing. So what are these 10 R's? Right price, not the lowest price, the right price of the material that you need to buy. Right quality, not over-engineered, not low quality, depending on the need and want of the customer, the right quality of the product. At the right time, not too early, so that increases my inventory cost, not too late because it is a lost opportunity. I need to buy it at the right time, from the right source. When you talk about right source, you talk about ethical sourcing. You talk about who's my right supplier. What are the different things that I look for in my supplier? So right source, right quantity. Right quantity is also very important. Depending on the bill of material that I have, depending on what the customer wants. So I buy the right quantity. Can I deliver the full quantity to the customer? I have the right contracts in place with my service providers, with my suppliers, with my vendors. I need to have the right contracts in place so that there's visibility between both organizations. Right material as required by the customer or as required by my internal stakeholder. I need to use the right transportation. If sustainability is a goal for my organization, if that's my vision and mission statement that my organization is sustainable, then I need to look at, can I use the right transportation to reduce my carbon dioxide emissions in an organization? Right place of delivery. Where is it that the customer wants this delivery? Is it a B2C product? It is a B2B product. The requirements are going to be completely different. So the right place of delivery. Do I know the right place of delivery? Can I deliver it there? When can I deliver it? And delivering with the right positive attitude.